The outage left huge backups at Hartsfield-Jackson Airport, but airports across the country somehow managed to handle all of the delayed and canceled flights with very little drama. News reporter Eric Lasser is live at Tampa International. Eric, you asked how vulnerable our own airport could be to power threats, especially with all of the storms that we get here.
You got it, Reggie. It's definitely something that they have to think about here at Tampa International. Look, your electricity probably goes off in your home several times during storm season, and they simply cannot allow that to happen during operations here at the airport. And so they have systems in place to try to avoid the very sort of situation that happened yesterday in Atlanta.
It was a little bit crazy.
Charles Phillips says he got the last available seat this morning on a flight to Tampa. Yesterday, it was tarmac torture. He and his fellow passengers stuck on their plane just sitting on the runway in Atlanta. No power meant no working jetways.
I was there for about 5 hours before we actually made it to the actual terminal itself.
That was one of the issues that they had in Atlanta, is that people were sitting on planes for a long time, unable to deplane.
We talked to the folks at Tampa International, where they haven't had a major operations blackout in more than 20 years. And that, they say, is no accident.
The airport has multiple redundancies to make sure that we're covered in case of a major power outage.
10 years ago, TIA spent $3 million to improve its electrical grid, 3 off-site substations supplying power, not just one. They've got backup generators if the grid goes down, which powers different parts of the airport's operation. That way, if they lose one power source to, say, a fire, the other backup systems can still function.
So we have generators for each of our air sides. We have generators for the airfield. We have generators for the parking garages, for the main terminal. So at a minimum, we can continue to function to a certain extent, even if there was a power issue with the grid.
That also includes enough power to keep up to 3 jetways per air side working.
Similar to what happened in Atlanta, you would not be able to keep on taking off and continue to land. But if the plane had already landed, we would be able to get people off of the planes.
And again, while services might be limited, officials say it would at least be enough to provide basic services for those passengers coming into and leaving TIA. At Tampa International, Eric Lasser, 10 News.